Racism is one of those potential viruses that has no effect on anybody but the person who causes it. And this is the issue that perhaps we have not been aware of, that the ideas that we have been indoctrinated with have not been questioned, given the reality at hand. We are not inferior. We have been taught about ourselves by people who do not even know ourselves, by people who do not even take the time to know ourselves. And as far as I'm concerned, no matter your religion, all I will tell you is there is no mortal white man who has practiced the act of racism who has been known to live long enough to see the day that once black people do not tolerate the infection that has separated our community, the day in which his power remains over our ability to live a life as we must, is over. And that's ultimately the situation that you will realize. It is a very sad life to dedicate your power and your mentality towards nothing but pain and inflicting hostility onto somebody else. That person, I must tell you, is they're in a very dark shadow. I cannot describe how important it is that we as black people can just finally wake up and develop a sense of reasoning to analyze some of the circumstances that might be holding us back from the goals that we have, or from further understanding the developments of our situations. The level of hatred that these racists have is nothing more than what stems to the root of absence of true humanity or true life. And this is the level that you will find that a lot of people who are racist are not aware of. And the realization that you come to when you don't give somebody the ability to just breathe as they must, you turn this away from a civil issue, and the issue just becomes bigger than what it must be. The realization when you deprive somebody of something that you believe you're entitled to is an instant sign of failure. That is a very terrible place. That is a very terrible position to be in. You would only take something from someone if you were missing something within yourself. And this is the realization that I find within a lot of people who exhibit this behavior, that the proper establishments of basic human ethics is a problem. It is a serious problem, to the point where perhaps they may have convinced the small population of the world, because keep in mind, there are billions of people on this planet, and not all of them are white. As a matter of fact, I would be shockingly surprised if white people even made up a tenth of the reality of the world that we live in, specifically white America. So you may be fooling the world. You may be fooling America. You may be fooling your cult. But you are not messing around with the other civilizations and peaceful abiding people who have established culture, who have established a sense of respect. We've all been through the situation where perhaps we feel that we need to conquer, we need to go on a quest. This has happened in Africa, and as a matter of fact, amongst black people in Africa too. But the ability for us to develop mutual agreements and borderlines that will not be crossed is very important. Something that I would say people in the Western Hemisphere have no brain power to comprehend. And once you feel like you're deteriorating somebody of their rights, you are truly doing nothing more than representing the lack of ethics and morale and principles that you established and cannot even live up to. If you can establish peace with an ant crossing the road, and you cannot establish peace with a black man who has inherently been the most disrespected person within North America by a large margin, that person, and I must beg you, has some seriously wounded skull issues beyond their own control. And that is nothing to do with you. That is absolutely nothing. That is not your business. Your business is to help your community should you feel that your assistance can provide the benefit of the overall human experience. So instead of revolving our experience around the Western Hemisphere, which geographically and on paper is the furthest place away from the world masses, how about the lens can kind of be analyzed on the Western Hemisphere by bringing a sense of not necessarily critique, but establishing the black man's experience and learning that the same things that are inflicted upon the black people perhaps will be reciprocated to the person who causes it. And you will find that this is nothing more than a basic law that even the white people know are taught in their schools, that if you apply a force towards someone, you must definitely prepare to receive that force being pushed back on you. And for as long as white people refrain from accountability for the millions of black people who they continue to attempt to use as chew toys, who they throw left, right, and center, it is important that black people develop the strength and the tolerance, meanwhile, to understand that their time is short and it is shortened. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the map throughout the first black people who came here, and the present state of black people, you will realize that their power is becoming more and more limited. the more that you realize that your power and your voice and your influence, your simple actions, will bring great change and perhaps hope and perhaps even a lesson towards the remaining white masses who believe that this is the way to go about life, which is completely not the case for the remaining populations around the world who share no interest in white people, who are able to function economies so well without the influence of white people. And you will find this to be true with the black man, that the black man was doing so well until the white people got involved with his land, put him in bondage, and decided that he was nothing more than property. If you ask the black man what the black man was doing before that, the black man had the nicest clothes that he could ever wear. The black man had all the resources, all the land, and the family, to which the white people do what the white people do best, and that is break apart and tear, doing nothing more than showing their ill-born intent towards feeling inferior to the black people.